Hello subscribers and hello YouTube family. So today I'm going to show you how to use DataBricks, and I've taken a dataset which is called as Wine Quality Dataset, and in this dataset we have different kinds of wines and the acidity in those wines and the color of the wine and the quality of the wine. I found this dataset on my computer, and it was a dataset which I was using during my masters. Using pyspark and Hive, Python, I'll explain you how to find which wine is of the highest quality, and given the price, which tastes better, and which is the quality is the best quality. So I'll also be plotting some of the graphs, since visual graphs are easy to explain, and also they capture the eye as well. And using Spark Azure DataBricks, you can actually go to portal.azure.com, and there you can if you have a subscription for the Azure, a student subscription or a new email ID, or a Microsoft company email ID, then automatically you can access free Azure Databricks. And suppose if you do not delete the Azure resource, then Microsoft Azure actually, the company has to pay, or you have to pay for Azure resource. So after using the Azure notebook, delete the Azure resource. So, and how to delete the Azure resource, I'll actually paste a link below. It will actually show you how to create a cluster, and also log into Azure portal and Azure Databricks, and create free subscriptions. So I'll paste the URLs below. And so let's start with today's video. And I'm actually manually I have uploaded the file to DBFS. DBFS is database file system, the Azure database file system here. So after uploading it, you can actually, some of the commands are different from normal Python in PySpark, like limit, head, df1.show, like that. And your print doesn't work, but display works. So some commands are different, and there are also magic commands for Azure, like in every cell if you give percentile Scala, or percentile Python, or percentile Spark, or PySpark, or percentile SQL, then you can write the code, and automatically the code will be executed within seconds. And this is how you write the code, like how do you load the data frame in Scala. And I'm displaying you, this is the data set, this is how it looks like. This is the wine quality data set. This is the pH values, and these are the different chemicals which are present in every wine. And these are the alcohol percentage of the wine, this is the color of the wine, and this was the quality meter for every wine which was taken. So using this particular data set, we can tell which of the wines is of the highest quality and was best suited. And in this particular data frame, we have almost 10 rows, and they are like, if you want to see like select 1 or 2 columns or 4 or 5 columns and work on it, then we can specify a particular schema that is called as product schema, or Spark's session schema. And I'm loading the complete data set again, and I have taken only 5 rows since I wanted to see the alcohol, quality, color, these particular columns, and acidity columns. So percentile MD, it is used to describe the markdown, or to write any comments or titles in Databricks. And PS is the name of the data frame here, And since we want I wanted to see like two columns, and they are like to specify a particular data type, you should write actually structured field. Like it is somewhat similar to the syntax of .NET and Java. In that particular programming language also you write float and or give the character or structure like this, but over there you used to give struct struct and your just struct, but you give your struct field and a string type instead of just string, and given the uh, like the number of bits it has to allocate. So here it automatically allocates the data. That is another advantage here, and the syntax is kind of different. And this is how you load specific columns, like if you want to select or query so like columns. And this is another way, like this is very similar to the pandas of like Python pandas of how we load it. And suppose if I want to group any data or actually categorize the data, then based on the color and the alcohol percentage, if I want to see like wherever color was red and if color was free sulfur dioxide, then I can actually see the color and the alcohol percentages. So, and if I want to even group by, then I can group by or just using dot where or dot select, df1 dot select the columns and group by the color. Then I can see the count values of the percentage, like the red wine count is 1599 and white wine count was greater than 4000. So like like I told you before, you can also like write Spark SQL, like SQL in Azure DataBricks. Since we were not we, like I was acquainted with SQL since many years, like more than 4-5 years. So you can just write percentile SQL, but before that you have to load your data frame, like whatever data frame you have cleaned or pre-processed or you want to work on. You have to create a temporary view, like give any name of the view. Like after the session the view gets deleted, and the view like whatever changes you make on the view, it does not affect the complete data frame, the this data frame, the original data frame. So in the Spark SQL querying, you can simply write spark.sql and the query whatever you want. Like now I'm trying to see white wine and red wine, like I'm loading it into the wines data frame. And suppose if I want to, instead of just Spark SQL, if I want to write just SQL, then if I want to see the count of the wines, that also I can do in SQL. Like you can use the same group by, order by, distinct, count, min, max, average, cast, whatever SQL and Microsoft SQL Server commands, whether we can use that here. And now if I want to visualize the data frame using SQL, the SQL wine data frame, that also we can do that, do like this, like specifically if you want to load or to view any particular data for a query, then we can write it like spark.sql and the query inside this. And one more thing is a spark.sql, when you do it, then you get a Spark data frame. But while analyzing data or visualizing data for analytics, you need to convert it into pandas data frame. So we use two pandas here, this method. And some things are very different here. So given, like if we continuously practice with different data sets like prediction models, analytics models, then we get to know the different analytical methods and how things are working in Azure DataBricks. And every time we try to visualize a new plot or bar plot or line chart, then we have to clear the plot. And in the figure it is same. So here I'm trying to actually draw a bar chart where I'm seeing red wine and white wine. So white wine quantity is actually higher than red wine, and many people consumed white wine than red wine, and they like white wine. So this was the end of this particular session. So we wanted to see which wines were bigger and which wines were actually most favored. So that could have been done using just bar plot or line plot, but like if you want to actually categorize the data based on specific custom queries and use aggregation numbers or aggregation functions like count, min, max, value counts like that, then we can do that in Spark SQL. And that was it for today. And I'll also show you how to use Spark SQL with sales and orders data and retail manufacturing data, hardware data. So you can watch that video as well, and you can get acquainted with the Spark functions and how SQL and advanced functions are used. So this was a basic notebook. So I'll be creating another notebook where I'll be using some of the functions and more advanced functions in the next video. So stay tuned, guys, and also subscribe to my videos to actually view more big data notebooks and big data code challenges. Okay, bye bye, see you soon.